Well, thanks for joining us. Look at that sky. Beautiful day today, but we are looking ahead to the potential for snow on Friday and freeze Saturday morning. So joining me now is Chris Bianchi with our Weather Impact team. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, freeze watch just issued for the Front Range. Say that 5 times fast. Freeze watch issued for the Front Range coming up on Saturday morning. But until then, it's hard to believe that considering we're in the low to mid 60s. It's beautiful outside. Spectacular weather on this Wednesday. We got a little rain last night, especially up by Boulder and the northern Front Range, and got a few showers here in Denver as well. But looking ahead, we do have a weather impact alert for Friday and Saturday morning. Trace of 2 inches of snow on Friday, but the bigger impacts will be on Saturday morning in the metro area with some leftover black ice and our coldest temperatures with temps down to about 20 on Saturday morning, parts of the metro area. That's Friday and Saturday morning. Radar right now is quiet, but those temperatures on the warm side, basking underneath all that sunshine here on this Wednesday afternoon. Those temperatures will get up into the upper 60s later on today. They'll drop back tonight, but that's out ahead of our cold front that'll bring us some snow just in time for Friday, and that could mean a slushy go of things on Friday and Saturday morning. I'm going to have details on how much snow you can expect and a look at those exact temperatures for Saturday. All that in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. Today, I-70 is back open after approximately 70 vehicles crashed into one another on the snowy highway, but 19 people now have injuries to remind them of what happened. That pileup involved all kinds of vehicles, cars, box trucks, and semis. 19 people had some sort of injury, but 8 of them needed aid from a hospital. But Colorado State Patrol says one of them had serious injuries. The crash happened at around 3 yesterday afternoon on the east side of the tunnels as the snow was still falling. Visibility was not great at that time.
It wasn't horribly icy, but you couldn't see well, and the snow was starting to stick to the windshield, and you were kind of like leaning over a little bit to try and see, and then saw the cars in front of you start jackknifing, and then slowed down and stopped about 45 yards back, and then saw tractor trailers jackknifing behind you, and slowly crept my way forward trying to get over to the side of the highway so I didn't get hit.
You had to be terrified.
Yeah, I mean, my heart was racing. It was like I was in the middle of a downhill ski race.
I-70 was closed for about 6 hours as vehicles were towed away and investigators looked into that crash. If you ever find yourself in an incident like that, know that police and insurance companies could find several people in the crash are at fault, even if you couldn't help but hit someone else. The Rocky Mountain Insurance Information Association told us that in Colorado, we have comparative negligence laws. So that means one driver may not be 100% at fault. For example, someone could be found 50% to blame or even another smaller portion, like 20%. Well, the woman hit by lightning last week in Boulder County is still in critical condition. She's already been through so much and has a tough road ahead of her. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch talked with a burn surgeon in Aurora.
No one knows where lightning will strike. When it does, there are signs.
The amount of voltage that's there is more than even like the high voltage wires that you see running across the plains.
The National Weather Service says Colorado is one of the top 20 states for lightning events. The agency says the woman struck in Superior is the first Coloradan injured by lightning this year. But she's not a first for burn surgeon Dr. Cameron Gibson.
So I've been here since 2022, and I think this is our 3rd patient.
Every lightning strike survivor is unique, but their treatments often look similar.
First and foremost, they come into the ER, into the trauma bay, to be evaluated to make sure they don't have any other traumatic injuries.
Dr. Gibson says he looks for evidence where lightning may have entered and exited the body.
We look them over from head to toe, look at their skin everywhere to see where there might be some burn.
He says the current can be so strong, it'll stop the heart. The Boulder County Sheriff's Office says first responders couldn't find a pulse on the woman struck last week. CPR helped bring it back. Dr. Gibson says cardiac arrest can lead to more time spent in the hospital.
But once the electrical current breaks through the skin, it travels through the muscle and through all the other tissue pretty easily because it's mostly water.
Physical damage can be long-term.
Full thickness burns to their skin that need skin grafting, which, is what we do day in and day out.
He says neurological deficits are possible too.
Almost similar to a stroke.
Dr. Gibson says recovery depends on the strike's circumstances.
Well, new details coming in now on the Schwackheim fire burning near the Colorado-New Mexico border. Fire officials say it's now just over 1,000 acres in size, and still none of it is contained. It started southeast of Trinidad on Sunday, and the governor has issued a disaster declaration because of it. Good news, though, so far it hasn't burned any buildings or caused any injuries. New information since yesterday on the Grand Junction pipe bombings from the 80s and 90s. As it turns out, that man in prison for it could be released from custody because the murder charges he was convicted of have been dropped. But the daughter of a man who was killed in one of those blasts is fighting to make sure he stays behind bars. One bomb that James Ginrich set exploded beneath a van, killing 12-year-old Maria Gonzalez. Another blew up under a pickup truck, killing Henry Rubble. Ginrich was convicted of murder based on expert testimony that the remnants of those bombs could only have come from his pliers and wire strippers. But that testimony has since been widely discredited. That led a judge to toss out his murder conviction. And he is up now for parole next month. Henry Rubble's daughter tells us she wants to see that he won't be freed.
We can't change the motion from yesterday, but we can definitely impact what's going to transpire in the future.
She's not the only one convinced that he is guilty. Mesa County's district attorney also believes his guilt, but says prosecutors don't have enough to try him for murder yet again. The Boston Marathon starting line is being repainted ahead of Monday's event, but today is not known as One Boston Day for what happened 13 years ago today. On April 15th, 2013, two brothers set off two pressure cooker bombs near the finish line. 3 people were killed and several hundred others were hurt, with a dozen of them losing limbs. The brothers got away, igniting a massive manhunt that lasted several days. One died as police closed in. The surviving brother later said they wanted to defend Islam from the U.S.